Yeah, hello all, good evening. Today we are going to learn the most important thing, that is how to implement the patch method with the help of Node and Express.js. Okay, and in the last session we understand what is the difference between the put and patch and post, and previously we have covered how to build a simple server and all these things. So without wasting time, let's jump into the topic, and hopefully students also ready. So here, before writing the code, we should understand primary difference between the put and patch is whenever we are dealing the put, whenever we are trying to update the resource with the help of put method, we should pass the entire object. Okay, even if you want to change only frame or only one property, doesn't matter. You should send the entire resource to the server. But in case of patch, if you want to update only one the property, yes, it will allow. Suppose in the same resource which you are able to see the left side. So if you want to update the f name, that's fine. You can pass only f name. So it will update. So in the same way, we should build a server. Okay, that is our responsibility as a backend developer. That is our responsibility to handle this situation. Okay. Mm, team, are you ready to implement?
Yes, sir.
This is really interesting. Okay, so we should take care of that. Even a user send one property, we should update the resource properly. So here, the resources we are taking from JSON placeholder, same users details, right? Users, and whenever the client requests to update the resource with the put, we need to send the entire object. But whenever we deal with the patch, suppose if I want to update only username, yes, we should allow to update it. So how to implement that? That is interesting. So let me add the patch route. Okay. Here, this is we can call it as a path. So of course, if you want to update the user details, definitely you should mention the ID. So that we can find out the resource and we can update it. And here we can pass the callback function and we can call it as a handler. Okay, of course I will explain all this terminology in a separate session. So this is request and response, and here we need to implement the logic. Okay, first thing is, of course, we should find out the resource. Okay, here one thing is very important. So whenever we don't find an item, when we are dealing with a put, it is going to create a new resource, right? Create a new resource if you don't find the matching item. But in case of patch, if you don't find it, we should reject it. Okay, simply we should say, if you don't find that resource, we are not going to update. It's not possible, right? So if you are giving entire object, okay, we can create a new resource. But if you are passing a partial information, with that information we can't create a new resource. That is the most important difference between the put and patch. I hope you guys understood already. So here, in the same way, first we should find out the resource here. Instead of finding the index number, I want to get the that particular resource details, user details, then we can update it. Okay, so for that I'm using the constant user, because the particular user. How to do that? Team, just help me. Users dot
Fine.
find. Okay, because we need only one resource, one matching resource. It should be only one resource because ID is a very unique thing. So that's why instead of filter, we should go with the find. So item aroma.
Item dot ID.
Very good. Item dot ID triple equal to
Uh, and, and
int. Okay, I think some. I'm not sure why. Okay, I should have also the same thing. The request dot
ARSC
params dot.
ID.
Okay, we should have an ID. Once you got an ID, um, definitely what we need to do, we need to parse it, because that will come in a form of string. when the path parameters will come in the form of string. That's why just we need to convert it into the integer. So we got the user. So, and if we found the user, that means if we have a user, that means if we have the matching resource, we should update it. Okay. So just suppose if you don't find a resource, what we need to do? Whether we are going to create a new um, user into the database or array, or we should reject it. Ask
Reject.
else condition. Reject it. So that what we can do, response dot status code. We should add a status code dot send. What we can say? So it is not found, right? So 404 is a exact a status code for if you don't find a resource. And here you can pass a simple message and resource not found. Okay. Otherwise, here we can mention you can use this what we can say these are backticks. You can do string interpolation. Here I can say the resource resource with this ID, right? With the ID. Okay, what is the ID you are passing? I'm just using the dollar and curly braces, and whatever the ID you are passing, it will come in the form of request dot params dot ID. So just pass the same thing to the user. Um, the resource with the ID is not found. Okay, of course, you can add a better, you can frame a better sentence. Okay, right now this is okay. So here, if you didn't find the resource, we are sending a error message. But if you got the resource, if you got the resource with this ID, so we need to update it, right? Okay, here the biggest challenge is, so we don't know, right? Suppose user have right now we are just handling this example, that's user details, which is provided by the JSON placeholder. Right now, how many properties are there? ID, name, username, email ID, address, phone, website, company. Okay, these are the main properties, right? One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. So, but user can send partial data. Okay, he can pass only name, or he can pass username or email ID, or he can pass name, username, email ID with any combination, with permutation combinations, any combination, he will try to update the details. But as a backend developer, as we are taking up the server, we should handle it properly. So how we can handle it? It is a bit challenging thing. Of course, we can do in many ways, but here I will try to give you a simple approach. So what I'm trying, so here how many properties are there? For now, the user object, ID is there, name is there, username is there. Okay, just go one by one and just check whether user is sending ID. If user is sending ID, just update that ID. If user is sending the next property, update that one also. Okay. For now, I will give an example with ID. So what I'm doing here, again I'm writing another if condition inside the if condition here. Okay, from where we will get the data, users data. So ID we are getting from request.params.id. But suppose if you want to update the username or email ID, um, through which object of request we will get the data. Either we will get request.body or request.headers or request.params or request.query.
Request dot go.
Yeah. We will get the information in the request.body, right? So here, what we can do, just check request dot body, that is the object, and ID we can't update it. Suppose what is the next property? For example, name. Okay. So right now here the name is there. So here what I'm checking. So whether user is trying to update a name. Suppose if he want to update the name, definitely he will pass that name information. So if he is updating, what I'm doing here, simply user dot name equal to request dot body dot name. Okay, is this correct or wrong? Is it possible to write in the same line without using curly braces in JavaScript, or we need to use curly braces always?
We should use curly braces.
Huh? We should use curly braces,
Curly
or
brace.
but in JavaScript, the if condition, any what block, if you have only one statement, you don't need to use the curly braces. Actually, I'm saying the in which situation, if you have only
One
one statement at the
one
time,
statement.
we no need to use the curly braces. So that's why what I'm doing here, yes, we don't need to use the curly braces if you have only one statement inside that block. Of course, I didn't explain that one previously because we are just learning the fundamentals. Okay, fine. In the same way, this is for the name. Suppose if user is passing the name, then okay, no problem. I will update the name of the same user. And suppose I'm adding the another condition. Okay, I'm adding another condition. So I will check. So right now we can deal with a two or three parameters. Request dot body dot. What is the second third property? Username. Username. If he is trying to update the username, I'm just checking user dot username equal to, from where we will get request dot, tell me, body dot
Body dot
Body dot
username.
username.
That's fine. So I will add one more thing, request dot body dot
email.
email. Okay, I'll just copy the exact spelling. Okay, email. So again, if he provided the details, so that user dot email, because here if you see, you will get the reference to that particular user object. So here again, request dot body
Body dot
Dot email.
email.
so now, so we just handle the three properties. Once it is working successfully, then we can implement, and we should not forget to send a response, right? Even whether it is a good response or a bad response, but we should send a response. Response dot send. Tell me what we can send. And
Again
email.
user.
Tell me, no problem. Shall we send updated user details?
Updated.
That is good,
Updated.
right?
Yeah.
Because user will get the confirmation whether my details are updated or not. So because we are updating the details and we are sending updated user information. And what is the status code?
200.
200. That's good. That's it. Okay. Our server is ready to deal with the patch. Of course, right now we have implemented only name and username and email. Any
సార్
questions? Yeah, tell me.
సార్ మనం ప్యాచ్ యూజ్ చేసి ఒక ప్రాపర్టీని అప్డేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అన్నారు కదా సార్.
Yeah, okay property. Yeah.
ఇక్కడ మల్టిపుల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఇస్తున్నాం కదా సార్. అప్పుడు పుట్టే బెస్ట్ కదా సార్.
No. Because whenever you're dealing with a put, you should pass the entire object, right?
ఎస్ ఎస్ సార్.
Here we are just putting if condition, right?
ఎస్ సార్.
If you pass the username, only username, this patch method will work.
ఓకే
If you
ఓకే ఓకే
pass
సార్.
name and username, in that situation also it will help, right?
ఎస్ ఎస్
Got it? Means partial information. Partially.
ఎస్ సార్. If it is name, it will update the name. If it is the username, it will update the username.
Yes, because if you see, if you didn't pass the username and if you didn't pass the email ID, so it is not going to execute this statement, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. It is a statement.
Any other questions?
No, no, sir.
Okay, let's start the server now. Let's try our luck. It is working or not. Node index, so that our server is up and running, and already I just opened the Postman. Now, which method we are going to use?
Patch.
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 And which ID you preferred? Okay, let's see
Um,
the details. Okay, yesterday we gone through Samantha. Now, tell me which ID you can update. Samantha with ID 3,
4.
4. Okay, what is the name? Hariyanne. Hariyanne. Okay, sorry. Okay, which property you want to update?
username.
Username. First, we can try only username. Okay, this is the this is the batch one. So, what is the ID? You said 4, right?
Yes, sir.
That is mandatory in the body. Username, that is previously the name is Kariyanne. So now tell me updated username. What we can add? So we can add triple K. Is it okay for now? Okay, fine. Let's see. How many of you are confident that it is going to work? It should return updated user details, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Boom. Oh, we got it. Is it working or not?
Working, sir.
Is it updating only username or not? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now our server is handling three things, right? Name, username, and email ID. Okay, let's try to update the email also. Let's try to update both the things, username and email right now. So email. So on today's 25th birth anniversary of Google, right? Yes or no? Do you know?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
let's celebrate that. Okay, happy birthday, Google Mother. Thanks for your all effort and who uh, started Google, and of course it's a great thing. Always we are thankful. So that's why I'm using gmail.com today. So and here instead of triple K, we'll go with triple R. Okay. So let's update. Let's try to update it. Is it working or not?
Yes, sir.
This is fantastic. So now even we added name also, right? So let's try that one also. Name. So simple. I'm just putting like something L. Okay, let's try. So it is updated, right? Three resource, three properties. But whenever you, if you try to update the address, it's again an object. Okay, and phone number. Suppose right now our server is not handling a phone number, right? Yes or no? So even if
Yes,
you
sir.
try to change the phone number, okay, phone number 1122, whatever it is, I just given some number. So if you try to update it, now tell me whether it is going to update at least remaining details or it will throw an area any error. Now, tell me. Someone is trying to join. Tell me what will happen. Whether it will update these three details and it is not going to update this one, or it will throw an error, or anything else according to our
It
system.
update three things and not update phone number.
Yeah, let's see. So we see it is updated name, it is updated username, it is updated email ID, and let's see the phone number. It is not updated, right? Because right now we didn't implement logic for what, the phone number. Okay. So now tell me, everyone understood clearly or not?
Understood, sir.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think someone joined. Mishra. Hi, Mishra.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm great, sir.
Yeah, just introduce yourself, like what you're studying or what you're doing.
I'm a MCA grad. Currently, I'm an intern at Geo Platforms Limited, where I'm currently working on Geo Cinema. I've developed the last have you watched Geo IPL
Yes.
2023?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I developed the watch party front end for that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Even this Australia series also live in a Geo Cinema, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. And you're learning JavaScript full stack development from last
Yes,
few
sir.
months.
I had. Yeah, I've been learning. I joined as a test engineer, and my manager saw some potential in me, so he asked me to try full stack development. So he told me to first pursue the front end development. I did that, and then they moved me to the front end development. Now they are telling me that you need to focus on back end development as well. So that's why I'm learning, and I got a recommendation in my YouTube about your channel.
Very good. Thanks to YouTube and Google. Of course, today is birthday for Google. Yeah, that's why because this is if you give a like and if you add a comment, of course, the meaningful comments. So Google will send notification to other people who are trying to learn the same technology, so that it will be helpful for more people. Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining, Mishra. And at, at any point, if you have any questions, definitely you can add a comment, or even after. Actually, we are maintaining a group, WhatsApp group. So if you're interested, you can join. Okay, I will just send me an email to svji.norin@gmail.com later, whenever you have a time, so that we can deal. Okay, right now. So now let just get back to the patch method. So here another interesting thing is there. Another interesting thing is there. So if you see in this user object, okay, these are very simple. Name, username, and email ID is very simple. What about address? What about address? Because address, the value of address is again a big object, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So actually, right now we can, okay, if you want to update the address, okay, we can inform to the user that, hey, user, please send the entire object of that address so that I will update it. Okay. So what I'm doing, let's go to the code again. Just update it. Okay. Just add another one. Okay. Of course, we should add each and every property. We should add the logic for each and every property. Of course, once we learn MongoDB and Mongoose and some validation packages, so our job is going to be very, very easy. Right now, yes, we should implement it. Okay, request dot body dot address. So user dot, let me copy the same spelling. It is simple. User dot address is equal to. So right now I'm just asking user to send entire object of that address details. Okay. So that whatever the address details you will pass, I will update it. Okay, let me start the server one more time because we did a small change. Okay, even if you want to if you want to add a phone number and everything, okay, you can. I hope you understand. So that just add each and everything. So this is somewhat complex. That's why I'm just explaining to you. The node index. This is fantastic. So now our server is ready. Even it is going to accept update the address. So I'm just taking the address one. We can update it. Okay, street Sagar complex city Hyderabad geolocation zip code, okay, whatever it is, I can add normally 50050 or 70. Okay, this is a simple object. Let's try. We are dealing with the only four right now. Let's go and try to update it. Oh, it's throwing an error. Fantastic. Yeah, what's the mistake? I think we just given an extra
Curly
password.
brace.
That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully this is good. Sir, please go back and understand what is a JSON format. What are the rules and regulations for that? What is the difference between the normal JavaScript object and a JSON object? How to convert a JSON object into normal JavaScript object, and how to convert normal JavaScript object into JSON object, and how to convert a JSON object into JSON string. So that those are very interesting, important things and interesting things as well. And hopefully it will update now. Yeah, if you see, the street is also updated and jit code is also updated. I think this is enough to understand the patch method. So now just give me confirmation one more time. Do you understand really what is how to deal with the patch? Now,
Yes, sir.
everyone.
Yes, I understood.
Okay. Okay. And now just recollect what is the difference between put and patch. Tell me, anyone?
Uh, I'm not sure about the actual difference, but I know something that input or patch, entire body is not getting sent to the server. Half of the data which is getting updated, only that part is getting updated to the server.
Yeah. So
That was the basic difference.
yeah, because whenever we are dealing with the put, we should pass the entire object. Okay. Even though if you're trying to change only one property, but we don't have an option, we should send entire object. But patch is will allow us to update one or many properties. So that is the patch. And if you don't find the id, if you don't find the resource, it is going to create a new resource, but the patch should reject it, right? So we should test that one as well. Suppose right now if I try to give a 44 by mistake, okay, what we have implemented the logic, if you don't find the particular user with that particular id 44, it should send the 404 status code, and the resource with that id that 44 is not found. Let's try to test that one as well. Yeah, got it or not?
Yes, sir.
Super fantastic. So now, yeah, if you have any questions, ask me.
Sir, um, we can update multiple items with patch, no, sir?
Multiple items? No, no, no. Means multiple user
On,
details at a time?
yes,
No,
sir.
yes.
No, no. We should not do that. Only one resource at a time. Okay. Major. Okay. If you see, whenever we are dealing with a get, yes, you can get all the users, or you can get specific user, right?
Yes, sir.
And whenever you will use a post, what you will do? You can create
Create.
one new resource, right? Okay. Maybe we will think that, hey, Raghu, I want to create 10 resources at a time. Okay, but that is not a good way. If you see, majority of the times, whenever you deal with a registration form, user registration form, user will be one only, right, at a time. Suppose if you are registering a Facebook account or a Google account, okay. Mm, suppose, of course, if you want to update 10 items or something, I will cross check one more time. Is there any possibility, or is that the a good thing or bad thing? But up to my knowledge, no one will try in that way. Okay? But I will cross check and then let you know. Yeah. Any other questions? No?
No, sir.
Okay. So actually, I want to explain one super interesting and surprising concept in Node and Express. Are you ready? Of course, I'm going to explain in detail next day, tomorrow or next session. But today I will give some introduction about that. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is really interesting, at least for me. Okay, because whenever I learned this one first time, I really excited. So if you see right now, suppose Google birthday. So let's take the example of Google. So if you enter www.google.com, okay, if you just enter this www.google.com, so what is happening? The request is going from my machine to the server. Maybe just imagine that is there in America, or maybe in a financial district in Hyderabad. So the server is there. Google server is there here. Okay, my computer is there at BN Reddy LB Nagar. Okay, I'm sending a request. Just imagine for now the server is there at USA, okay, United States of America. This server. Because this server, of course, what is the address of that server? HTTP colon forward slash www.google.com. Okay, but indirectly, so this is a generic name, but internally, each and every the domain has the IP address. So it will try. Suppose the IP address of that server, HTTP colon forward slash. Suppose, for example, 120 the format. I suppose 23 something like maybe this IP address is not the proper one, but it will hit the IP address of that the server. Okay, it will take help from DNS and internet. Lots of things will happen internally. So here, just imagine. So whenever we are sending a request that www.google.com, okay, google.com, just tell me what you got from the server here. I just typed google.com and I just hit the enter. What you got from the server?
Response.
Okay, what is that response? In that response, what you got?
Google page.
Google page means
Yes.
HTML page or not?
Yes, sir. HTML page.
So it is returning the home page of Google, right? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it is returning the home page of the Google. So just imagine the file name index.html. Okay, so google.com. So we are getting the response. Okay, we are also building the server, right? We are also building the server, right? Okay, so if we have a HTML file in our server, okay, how to get that? Suppose whenever I try to hit, suppose the HTTP colon localhost 3000, instead of that www.google.com, www.facebook.com, whatever it is. Right now our server is there in our local machine. That's why we are just hitting the server with localhost on 3000. Okay, But whenever I hit this one, HTTP localhost 3000. So right now we just build a route, right, with empty. So here we are just sending hello world, I'm Chitty, right? We are sending a simple text message. But instead of that, whenever we hit the basic thing, instead of this hello world, I'm Chitty, this is a response. Of course, it is displaying the web page because you're sending a request from the sorry, browser, so that the response is displaying the HTML page, but actually it is not written in the HTML page. Okay, but I want to, we should implement a simple HTML file. So let me build that HTML file. So if you see, okay, right now what I'm doing, I'm just creating a folder called public. Okay, public. So in that, I'm just creating a index dot what, HTML. So let me build our HTML page. So this is like our Google page, or the my Google. Okay, my Google. Okay. In the body, I'm just giving a big heading. This is my Google homepage. Okay, we should, because whenever I hide HTTP localhost and 3000 and forward slash, I should receive this HTML file from the server. I should receive this HTML file from the server to the browser. Okay, are you ready to learn this one? Is it interesting?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, this is what you can, of course, if you fall in love with the programming and technology, hopefully you will enjoy. So now the simple thing. So we should use one middleware. We should use one middleware. That is what I'm doing here. App dot use. There is a middleware that is called express dot the static. Okay, express dot static. Okay, right now I'm just putting it as a public. Okay, what is the meaning of this means? So we are preparing the server. A server, whenever any client who is who can access our server, and if you try to hit that the basic URL, you can access anything from this public folder. So right now, if you have an index.html, you don't need to ask in the path like index.html. Suppose if you have a home.html, if you have a.html, definitely you should mention that in the URL. So, but let's see whether it is going to return this HTML file or not. Okay. So now again, I'm stopping the server. Already we are stopped the server. The node index. Okay, our server is up and running. Let's see whether it will return a file or not. Of course, we have a route also, right? Let's see whether it will return the route or a HTML file. What? Do you receive the HTML file or not?
Yes, sir.
This is what only, right? So for the confirmation, maybe you don't get that much surprise. But if you understand this importance, definitely you feel very happy. So, okay, anyone, if you already started learning React.js, you can find the same structure, right? In the public folder, you will find index.html, right? So how it is working?
Yes, sir.
Great. So now I just added some simple wow. Okay, got it or not?
Yes, sir.
Now who are watching this video in a YouTube? Okay, you can click on like button because it deserve it. Because I can definitely say minimum 30 to 40% of the students don't know, who are learning Node.js and Express.js basics. Most of the time they will ignore these concepts actually. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and definitely tell me.
Sir, is there any other another way to push the HTML page in Node.js?
Another way to push that HTML file to the client.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know. I will explain. I will try and I will tell you. Because
Okay,
if you
okay, sir.
want to access the static file, this is the way. Sometimes we can build a route actually. We can add a route,
Okay,
suppose forward slash home.html, or other time we can return the HTML file directly.
okay, okay, sir.
That I will explain anyway in coming days. Suppose definitely anyone is curious to get any images from the server. Let's try or not. Shall we try to create some images, CSS files,
Yes, sir.
JavaScript files? So what I'm doing in a public folder, I'm creating uh, STYEL, yes, styles or style sheets. Okay, style sheets. Okay, in that style sheets, what you can do, you can create a style sheets. Okay, what is the extension of style sheet?
Style.css.
Okay, good. Home.css. I'm just giving home.css, and I'm just creating a simple class. Suppose simple. I'm just giving a home. Okay. Background color is red, and the text color is will be white. So I created one CSS file, and let me create another folder with images. Okay, normally images are important, right? So and let me um, put one image into that folder. Let me find out some images. Desktop screenshot folder have lots of images. So right now we are learning Express JS, so that let me copy this one. Copy the file. Hopefully it got copied, and go to the path that is there in a D drive. Full stack application, my server, public folder, images, and let me paste that one. Right now, just rename it with a good name. Uh, Upload. So just suggest me one name for this. Okay, we can go with Express only. Express. And just extension is very important. What is the extension of? I think it's a PNG file, right? To the properties. Okay, it's a .png. So that we should mention that. Okay, fine. We have two things are there, and naturally we will have a JavaScript files also. So that I'm just creating another folder with like normal JavaScript files. Your app.js file. Here you can do some console.log. Console.log. Hello, I'm coming from server, or I came from server. Okay, fine. So if you have index.html, that's a default file, so that you don't need to mention index.html. But whenever you want to get an image or JavaScript file or a style sheet, you should mention the right path for that. So let me start the server one more time. Hmm, the node index. Okay, our server is up and running. So now let's try whether we will get an image or not. So google.com 3000 images. What is that file name? Express.png, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got the image right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Similar way, let's try for a JavaScript file. What is the path of that JavaScript file? JS and
JS,
app.js, right?
app.js.
Uh, got the content or not? This is a JavaScript file. And another one is
Yes.
style sheet, right? Style sheet. Style sheet. And just copying the spelling. What is the file name? Home.css. file ships. If you try to access that folder, it is not coming. But yeah, we can enable few things so that even you can get the folder structure. What are the files are there in that folder also. So styles, and what is the file name? Home dot CSS.
home.css.
So sorry, I just got it or not.
Yes, sir.
So we can get the static files from the server. So anything, because server, if you want to build a server, not only just REST APIs, if you want, you can access the files which are there in that server. Okay? Even you can access the operating system, anything in that server. So that's your choice, because the Node.js is providing, and of course Express.js is a framework on top of Node.js. Express.js is using some default modules which is provided by the Node.js like npm, and it is built on top of that. Okay, fine. So this is just an introduction. Of course, I will cover a few more interesting things in the next coming days. And one more thing. So far, how many hours we have taken to learn just simple CRUD operations? So hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and today again 1 hour. So 6 hours total. 6 hours we have taken to understand it. So if you do practice properly, if you understand all these things, so on next Monday, we are going to build all these CRUD operations in a single 1 hour. Are you ready? Because you are completely new to this server-side programming, that's why I took a lot of time to explain all the fundamentals. So just do practice 1 or 2 times, understand each and everything, what is post method, how this put is working, how delete is working, how patch is working. So once you have done a practice 1 or 2 times, and we can build same server from the scratch within 1 hour. Okay, are you ready for that challenge?
Yes, sir.
On Monday. We are going to do this on this Monday. Everyone should practice and get ready simultaneously. Everyone should build these things in 1 hour. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions, ask me. Otherwise, you can drop off and enjoy the day. Hopefully, we can learn some another interesting concept tomorrow. If you don't have any questions, you can drop off. Bye bye.